So, can we talk?
Yeah, sure.
Hey everyone, it's Gabby,
And Max.
and sorry about that week break, but things have been kinda hectic around for everyone here. But we're back again, and with an entirely new show. Well, that's still percentages, but we're mixing it up a bit. First up, we have some news.
Okay, so basically, since I've been doing nursing, we've been going into sort of the laws and ethics, and in sort of similar circumstances, we've come across the Brittany Maynard story. I think a couple of people would have heard about this already, but Brittany Maynard's a 29-year-old. I'm not sure where she originated, but she's moved to the Oregon state, I think I pronounced that right, and she has a stage 4 brain tumor, which is basically the worst stage you can have, and it's basically terminal. There's no way out of it. So she's moved to Oregon to use the choice to end her life, to die with dignity. So yeah, we sort of went into the sort of implications of that, and just the ethics of that, and it was quite interesting to hear people's views on it. So yeah, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, my opinion on it is just go out the way you want to go out, so
Yeah.
I'm not too opinionated on that, especially considering my past and stuff. It's, it's your life, and nobody can tell you you have to continue living it if you absolutely don't want to, or there is literally no chance of surviving without... Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what she does, she's not gonna survive, and it's just gonna be a painful, shitty existence until she finally does die. So, hey, if that's what she wants to do, fucking...
In the actual interview she had with like a news channel, she said, why go out in the way that it's been described to me as like painful and such, when she can go out quietly surrounded by the people she loves. So like, comparing those, I think most people would prefer to take the latter of the options, being surrounded by those you love and dying peacefully, rather than slowly having your brain just collapse, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tony Scott kind of did the same thing a while back. He's Ridley Scott's brother. They're both directors. He jumped off a bridge after he found out he had cancer, because he knew he wasn't going to survive it, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
So, yeah, I think that Oregon's kind of got the right idea, I suppose. Like, rather than, what was his name? Tony Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than, sort of having to end your life in Tony's fashion by jumping off a bridge, finding out he has cancer, you should be able to talk to someone and have the right to die if it's terminal, or if there's no way anything's going to get better. So, rather than having to commit suicide in such a fashion, you should just be able to fall asleep and have dignity with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sort of we went into a few other stages with that, and like there's other cases where you have locked-in syndrome, like if you have some sort of I can't remember where it was true, but if you have some sort of physical trauma to your brain in a certain area, like, your brain still functions fine, but you can't move, and all you can move is your eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a fella, I can't remember his name, I'll have to look it up afterwards and I'll put it in the show notes. But I'm not sure what he had. It might have been a stroke, I think. But he had locked-in syndrome, and he just wanted it to end. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up.
It's okay, babe.
Yeah. And he wanted to die, but he wanted medical help to die. But he didn't want the doctor who prescribed any sort of life-ending medicine, I suppose. He didn't want them to get in trouble for it, because you'd be charged for murder, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually he took himself off meds, and he later died of pneumonia. But the courts actually denied his plea for it. So they said, no, we can't change this law for you. And so he just went off his meds and ended up dying of pneumonia not long after he was refused. Yeah.
Yeah. It's... Yeah. People are weird about forcing other people to live when their quality of life... It's a really selfish thing, because...
Yeah, like you have to look at their quality of life. So if they're in a vegetative state and they're... Like I said to you, that if something happens to me, I don't want to be kept on life support if it's not looking good. Like, use the time and effort for someone more needing of it than someone who's... Like, if I'm in a vegetative state, I don't want to be kept like that. I want you to focus on other people who need it more than me if I'm veg. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that other people in vegetative states are a waste of time. It's just that's sort of my own opinion. If it was me in that shoes, I don't want to sound awful by saying that. Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah, I'm rambling.
It's okay. It's okay.
Been a weird day.
Yeah, it has. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. It's one of those things where I view it like this, where 99% of the time, there's no way that the person who has been on life support for 5 years, who hasn't spoken a word, who hasn't moved, would want to continue that. Yeah. And it's something that the family does so they don't have to go through, so they don't have to admit that they've lost that person. But
yes.
I mean, in the end, is it any different? So long, yeah. But is it any different? I mean, like, if you're in a coffin or if you're on a gurney, it just because there's a heartbeat, there's a monitor showing a heartbeat on one and not with the other. I mean, what's the difference if you haven't moved or spoken or done anything in 5 years?
Had any sort of brain function, yeah.
It's, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
People should just be able to go out the way they want to go out and not have to deal with family members and friends and stuff being selfish and forcing them to stay around when there's nothing there to stay for.
Yeah. Another note with that, another case study that we did that in class that same day, it was a lady who had... What was it? Her family had found her unconscious, and I think she was in a coma. I'll find these and put them all in show notes. But she was 17 weeks pregnant, and they had her on like a mechanical ventilator. So she was vegetative state, no brain activity, but she had a baby inside her. Well, a fetus inside her. Can't really call it a baby, I suppose. But the law stated that she couldn't be taken off the ventilator, even though in her sound mind before this incident, she had said she didn't want to be on life support in any state. So she was kept on life support because she had a fetus inside her, in utero. And later on down the track, they did scans when the fetus was more developed, and it was going to be a stillborn anyway. So in that time, the family's gotten so distressed over this, having to go through grief twice. And yeah. It was a really interesting class.
Laws are stupid, and
yeah,
I could get onto the whole pro-life thing for an entire podcast on its own, so I'm not even going to get into that. But
yeah, let's not go there.
I don't know. This is a dark opening to the new percentages.
I'm sorry. I've started us off very darkly.
This is dark as fuck.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Well, I found another article that was a bit more upbeat and less depressing than this.
It's a lot more upbeat.
Well, and I know it's been passed around, but I don't know if people who listen to this podcast listen to the same podcast that I do or read the same news sites, because everybody's different. So, I saw that Apple is starting to pay for egg freezing, and Facebook has been doing this since January. I didn't know that. But Apple is offering to cover up to $20,000 for full and part-time staff for egg freezing. So that's pretty fucking awesome. Like, and the article is kind of crappy in that it only talks about women, but considering there are males with uteruses and vaginas, but we'll get into that another time. But it talks about the fact that, these two companies will pay for egg freezing for a later time. Like, if you want to have a baby at a later time, or you don't want to have one while you're working or whatever. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty rad that, like, larger companies are starting to do this kind of stuff.
I will admit, before you went into depth about it and you linked me the article in, like, the this sort of plan for this show, I was sort of kind of about it. Like, I was just sort of like, But now that you've mentioned that, that's actually really neat.
Yeah, I mean, it talks about the fact that, like, some people, they're working, and they're working a lot at some of the, like, at Apple and Facebook and Google and stuff. You work a whole lot, and I mean, sometimes you don't want to have a kid when you're doing that, but after you retire or move on to a cushier job, not cushier, but like a slow-paced, demanding job, or
less high-paced job. Yeah.
Or hell, you move up and you don't have to do as much, whatever, and then and then suddenly it's like, oh well, I want to have a kid. Well, I got eggs frozen. Let's fucking do this. Like, and then it's interesting that I mean, and it's not a cheap thing to do.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. It says freezing eggs can be costly, coming in at around $10,000 for the initial procedure, then costing around $500 per month for storage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wish I had $500 a month.
So they'll pay the initial $10,000, and then they'll keep it around for another $10,000. So another 20 months.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then of course, of course, if you're working at like Facebook or Apple or Google, you're making bank, so you don't have to really worry about $500 a month after that.
You can make it rain.
Yeah. Typically, you're living in California. Actually, with all three of those companies, you're living
Just
in California,
rolling in
and
money.
you are paying that for like a closet or something. Like, that's nothing in California.
Jesus.
Oh god,
Wow.
the housing market, like rentals and the housing market and everything in California and New York are both stupid.
Oh. Like hell.
Like, who was it that was just? Oh, it was Sav and Eli's friends. They were saying that one of their friends moved out to California with some other friends, and they were renting like a 2-bedroom apartment for $2,500 a month.
$2,500
and that was the cheap.
a month.
$2,500 a month.
Jeez.
$2,500 a month for 2 bedrooms. That was the cheapest they could find in the area they were in. So
It's fucking ridiculous.
oh, a fucking like little studio, a little
Wow.
shitty roach infested studio in New York is like $1,300.
What?
So yeah,
Why?
because it's
Why?
it's the most populated city in the country, and
Oh, what the fuck?
yeah, so housing is scarce.
Quality. Great.
But yeah. No, it's, I don't know. I just found it interesting that companies are starting to look at more health-based things, especially for people with uteruses.
Yeah.
And that's pretty rad. Yeah. Well, I guess the next article bleeds more into gaming, so let's hit that up, huh?
Let's do it.
And this is the part where I believe both of us will get pretty angry about things. So, and this is hardly the only article about this kind of stuff, and it's hardly the last time it will happen, because people
Yep.
are shitty. But the first in our little segment of gaming is Anita Sarkeesian was forced to cancel a talk at Utah University because of threats of violence. Not just little bits of violence, but a massacre.
Great.
And the main problem, besides the massive issue of these are shitty ass dudes attacking women because video games.
The logical
is-
reason.
Well, no, like, and that's a whole other thing that we'll talk about. But
Yeah.
but the reason that she had to cancel the talk is because Utah is an open carry state. You are allowed to carry a gun of any kind with you
Would that
and have it openly. Like, you can have revolvers, you can have a shotgun, you can have rifles, you can have whatever you want, and you can proudly display that you have this firearm. And trust me, not all states are open carry.
Good. Good. This is a good thing.
Just the crazy ones.
Yeah, just the crazy ones.
All the ones I've lived.
Good choice.
I've literally lived in 3 open carry states. I'm not even gonna lie.
Please don't.
But the biggest problem with it, the police decided that since it's an open carry state, they aren't going to search anyone.
What?
Yeah. So the police weren't gonna do anything about the fact that literally there was somebody saying, I have pipe bombs, multiple pistols, and a rifle, and I will kill as many people as I can.
Can I just say, what do your police do? Do they just join for
No one knows.
Ooh,
no one knows.
We get our own guns and we get like cool uniforms and special rights. Like, what the fuck? You're supposed to protect and serve. That is the whole point of being a police officer.
The thing is, in the U.S., the police are
Shit.
No one knows what the police do in
Your
the
police
U.S.
are just
besides
shit,
kill
honestly.
black kids.
Yeah.
Besides kill black kids and give white ladies ice cream. Like,
Yeah.
that's all the police are good for. I have never called the police and felt a sense of protection and felt good after that that interaction ever.
Like, I'm not gonna...
There's a reason I don't call the police anymore.
I'm not gonna say that, like, the Australian police are perfect, because you've got, they do get rough, and there are cases of them having killed innocent people. But when they just sort of go about their own thing and they just gun down people willy-nilly, mostly those of different ethnicity to them, that's when I'm going to say that Australian police are maybe just a teeny bit more bearable than American police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, this whole thing is... Gamergate is such a fucking stupid... Just... Oh my god. I'm gonna try not to rant here, but I'm gonna probably... So... All of this started with a dude who was pissed off at his ex. So he wrote this big post talking shit about her, and since nobody would actually listen, he went and posted it to 4chan and talked about it there, and then it went boom. And so they decided they had to destroy Zoe Quinn.
4chan
and then it became... 4chan was not this bad. Like, years ago, it was not always this terrible. Now, it's just a fucking horrible cesspool. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Literally, this entire thing is based on a one pissed off dude trying to get back at his ex.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into literal women being driven from their homes because of death threats and doxing and just dudes who can't handle women being, you know, vocal about shit.
Yeah.
And they can't, like, just, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me that this is really a thing that has been happening for the last 2 months?
Yeah.
Because nobody's given a shit about any of this before. Nobody, and people act like the shit that's going on in gaming journalism, like, that matters. Nobody talks about the fact that game journalists are going in and making games. You think there's not connections there?
Yep.
Fucking one of the best games I've played recently was Gunpoint. I had an amazing time playing that. The writing was great. The gameplay was fun. That was made by a guy who I believe used to work at Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb is a fairly popular gaming blog. So when it gets good, no, it was Game Informer.
Think, baby, think.
It was a gaming magazine of some sort. They didn't do a review because people would think they would get. But you think he doesn't have other contacts in other places? Like, he only knows the people in the company he used to work for? Like, everybody in gaming journalism knows everybody. So when one goes and makes a game, I guess it can never be reviewed then, because there's connections there.
Oh no, connections, oh no.
Like, everybody knows everyone, and people, you have lavish parties being thrown for game journalists at, like, game launch events and stuff. You're not going and ranting about how corrupt EA and Activision and all of them are for doing that shit, but you'll go and attack fucking Anita Sarkeesian because she said, hey, there's some shitty things in video games that would be nice if they changed. Yeah. Really?
I will admit, like, that
really?
I'm not so strongly fond of Sarkeesian, just because I have a different viewpoint on it. Because, like, there are quite a few very strong female protagonists, like Lara Croft, Shell from Portal, Samus, just to name 3. But
and no, wait. Have you seen anything from the new Metroid games? Did you see Metroid Zero?
She is quite sexualized, I will admit that. But, like, the original Samus. Yeah.
Okay, but that's 20 years ago.
True. Okay. Yeah.
You're talking about games that haven't come out in a decade now.
Okay, sorry.
last Metroid Prime games were the last decent Metroid games, and that was on the GameCube.
Yeah.
So in the last decade, what?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I retract my point. I retract my point.
Yeah, and like, yes, we have Lara Croft. You named what, 3 between Lara Croft, Chell, and Samus?
Okay.
And there's how many women in video games that are constantly shit on and used as plot devices?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna retract that if I can. But
yeah, because
yeah.
No, like the Tropes versus Women series is actually pretty spot on in the fact that, like, video games are shitty to women. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fairly obvious thing. Like, there aren't that many actual decent female characters that aren't just
Boobs.
like
Just boobs with the
boobs
legs.
with boobs that can yell "help me."
Yeah.
Like, that's all they're really used for a lot of the time, and it's stupid.
Sorry, I feel
And
bad now. Yeah. Thank you for making
mean,
me see that, though. Thank you.
like, the newest, like you brought up, the newest Metroid, they turned Samus from a character who was fucking badass
And I'm
and
gonna Google it.
into, oh no, she's just got no armor and it's a skin tight suit and she always needs help from the boys. Like,
What is it? Metroid Prime? I'm googling it now.
no, the Prime series were the last good ones. Is, I believe, Zero or something, Other M, I think it was what it was. Because that's the one with Zero Suit Samus. Yeah. It's Other M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Like we have a few good characters.
Yep, I retract my statement. I see what everyone means now.
And like we have Bayonetta, who is super sexualized, but I never felt like Bayonetta is super attractive, but at the same time, Bayonetta is also one of those, I don't know if I want her or want to be her.
Yeah.
Because she's just such a badass.
Yeah.
And I haven't played the new Bayonetta, so I don't know, but fucking, they could have ruined that. I don't know. I don't own a Wii U, so I will probably never play that game.
I'm just looking at Samus now, and I'm just... Heels. Why? Like, if you're gonna have a female protagonist that's active and, like, fucking boss-ass bitches around, why give her heels? Those aren't the easiest things to run in. Has anyone tried running in, or let alone walking in heels? I can hardly fucking manage that. Because sexualization, yep.
I mean, but then you look at video games, and it's, I mean, the Evil Within just came out. I love Bethesda. I adore me some Bethesda. But Evil Within just came out. It's a scruffy, gruff white dude again.
All them white dudes.
There are 1.5 billion of those. You know?
Yeah.
We have 1.5 billion fucking scruffy white dude characters.
Yeah.
And, like, 3 women and a few POCs. Like,
sorry.
That's all we get.
Yeah. I just want to crawl under the couch now because, like, I just realized how wrong I was.
It's okay. I just...
Yeah.
Like, this stuff matters to me because I really enjoy video games and they mean a lot to me. And so this kind, like, proper representation in media is actually a thing, even though some stupid people I work with think it doesn't matter. Like, representation actually matters for people.
Yeah.
It matters in a lot of ways. So proper representation and not just turning every woman in a video game into a plot device with tits is It isn't needed. You don't need to do that.
It's like, we get it. You can stop now, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I just...
Perhaps.
Like, I actually kind of really loved Shovel Knight, even though it was a male protagonist main character, but Shield Knight was awesome because she was like without Shield Knight, Shovel Knight was like not as good.
Yeah.
And he goes through the whole game to save her, blah blah blah, that same kind of trope. But Shield Knight is kind of like useful and awesome, and she is equal to Shovel Knight when she's finally back around and they can fight together. And
Like, yeah, she's an equal. She's
like,
not like one of those escort missions.
Yeah. Well, and her being there makes it so that he can fight properly. Yeah. Like, because he bounces off her shield to get higher and stuff like that. And without her, he literally could not defeat the boss. And in the end, it's still her who saves his ass anyway. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, Shovel Knight was a really fun game that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And, I played for just a minute to test it on my computer. I played Enslaved. And I don't know if I like the female character Trip.
Yeah, you told me about that, yeah.
I don't know if I like her or not yet, because I don't know how she's going to progress throughout the story. She seems so far to be just a terrified girl who's stuck in a situation she doesn't understand. So I can understand the way she's acting, but I don't know how they're going to progress her character across the story, because I played maybe 20 minutes of the game. So I have no idea how Trip's going to be. Of course, there is Sexy Robot Trip DLC, which I'm just like, why is this a thing?
Can you not?
Why? Why is this? Why? That didn't need to happen, but still. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm looking through my Steam library trying to find some other games that have some decent female protagonists. And I have 383 games, not including my free-to-play stuff. And
with POC representation, I'm quite into Team Fortress, and like, it's kind of bugged me that all but Demo Man are just white, and there's just like,
yeah,
I feel like Demo Man's kind of like the what is it, what's the word, the token black guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, Valve's pretty decent about female representation. Like, Alex Vance is just awesome. She's your partner in Half-Life 2.
Yes.
Like, she's just fucking badass, and she kicks she saves your ass in the beginning of Half-Life 2 and continues to save your ass. And she actually, like, still has an emotional side to her, but can still probably beat the living shit out of Gordon if she wanted to. Like, she's just a fairly well-rounded character, and I really like her. And she's also POC, which is awesome. And, but, like, I'm looking through my games, and I have the Cat Lady. I have Lily looking through, which I haven't played, but that looks pretty rad. I guess The Walking Dead Season 2.
Yeah.
But I don't own Walking Dead Season 2. I'm just looking for decent female representation in these games, and I have so far Half-Life 2 and Left 4 Dead. Like, and even then, like, the female characters in Left 4 Dead are just, like, it's just a skin. That's all it is. I mean, there's no real...
Pretty much, yeah.
Because there's no real story in... I mean, no...
Yeah, it's just mindless action, blowing shit up.
No, I mean, there's...
There, really.
There's a...
Sorry, I'm moving around.
It's okay. there is like a story interlocking everything and things progress, but I mean, like, there's no like real story to it. It's not like a story driven game. It's all chapters and little bits of story that you have to find around. And I mean, the characters are just skins. They're skins and voice packs. That's all it is. You can change those out, and you wouldn't notice which character you're playing if you turned off all of the, if you turned off all the voices. You wouldn't know. So that's whatever. And I don't know. Video games.
This episode's a can of worms, isn't it?
Yeah, video games. Because video games. And video games. And Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect, those kind of games have good representation because you can make a female character and it doesn't affect the story in any way. Like, male and female characters are completely equal in these stories. Oh, and I love all the fucking idiot little fuckboys on the internet who are all pissed off about the female Inquisitor being like the main advertising thing for Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm so happy about that.
Cry harder, dude bros. Cry
and
harder.
And the Fallout games and Kingdoms of Amalur,
Yeah.
like all these games that you can be a female and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't affect the story negatively in any way or change how people view you in the game. It's like, well, sometimes it does, but then you can easily shut them the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
Like Fallout New Vegas is like, what is it? It's one of Caesar's Legion.
yeah,
It's like,
Caesar's
what do
Legion
you want,
is...
woman? You can shoot him in the face directly after. Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah, it's like, and yeah, they use like Caesar's Legion is a bunch of fuckboy slavers. Like, they're horrible, awful people, and they're also the misogynist ones. If that doesn't tell you anything, like,
Yep.
like this is the thing that's in this game. That's you don't see the followers of the apocalypse, the nice people who are just trying to help everyone and give people medical treatment and education. You don't see them doing that.
Yeah.
You don't see only men in the NCR. Like, this is the reason.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know. This is about gaming, so besides that, because I could literally go on about Gamergate for another 4 hours, and I did not record enough footage to do that. So,
How are we going for footage versus recording time?
I think we're already double. So,
Oh,
I think
no.
I only recorded like 30 minutes, and we're already at 42.
Oh dear.
But, why is Euphoria down in the...
Butts.
I don't know why Euphoria got stuck down into games. I don't know why it's not sorted anymore. I'll have to fix that. But... Oh, because it's Euphoria HD. That's why. It's new. They gave me a new copy of Euphoria. That's actually really cool, because I owned Euphoria from before, and they came out with an HD version, and they gave me a copy of it since I already owned Euphoria.
Was
Again,
that the one
Steam
that
being
you-
awesome.
Was that the one that you did for like the ASMR? Let's play?
No, that was
No.
Pixel Junk Eden.
That one was hella nice. That
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna do more
so
of that.
relaxing to watch.
I'm gonna do more of that. I
Great.
just have to find time to record an ASMR Let's Play instead of just like a...
Normal one.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even recorded normal Let's Plays this week. I took a week off from the channel.
Yeah.
The new Borderlands the pre-sequel came out, and I want it really bad because it's apparently more Borderlands, and Borderlands is rad. So, I need to have that sometime. What else came out recently? Shadows of Mordor came out last week, I think it was. It's been since we fucking last did a podcast, so it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks and a half or something. Shadows of Mordor came out. Oh, hey, Killing Floor is on sale today. It's part of the weekend thing.
There was an update for Don't Starve that does not include the Don't Starve Together thing, and we are sad.
Yeah, I don't know what that update was, because there's no patch notes, and it was a 100 meg update, so...
Yeah.
It's not like Don't Starve is a big game.
I like it, though. I know it's not a big game, I just like it. And I'm not sure what's come out, but you've gotten me back into, You've gotten me into Guild Wars.
Yes, I
bought
have.
it for me.
You finally started playing it. You haven't played it in 4 months. I bought it for you, like, half a year ago.
For my birthday.
Yeah, I bought it for you for your birthday, and you haven't played it.
I'm sorry.
Well, now you're playing it, so...
Now I am. And I have a great big furry man.
So, big furry person, huh?
Oh, yes, my big furry person. Yes. He's a big fluff. And I'm very happy.
Yee.
Yeah. What was my comment when I was making him?
I don't know.
It was like, I want him to be threatening, but I also want to fuck him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep. Hey.
Giant fur.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been playing Guild Wars. I tried recording Sleeping Dogs on Sunday or Monday or whatever it was. Or no, it was Tuesday, because I posted the I will not be recording today thing on Monday. But my computer's doing this thing where it records just fine sometimes, and then sometimes it stutters like a motherfucker when I'm recording. And it was stuttering so bad that the footage I got from Sleeping Dogs is just unusable.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to restart from a earlier save point so I can actually, get that going. But I don't know. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, it'll come.
I'm looking at other games to play and stuff too for things. I've still got far more than enough on Spectrum that I don't need to record anything for there for a while. There's still a month of Half-Life of mine to go up, let alone everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but yeah, been playing a lot of Guild Wars. Just a fuck ton of Guild Wars. Oh, and Rogue Legacy. Fuck, I put a lot of time into Rogue Legacy.
I've been playing quite a bit of what is it, Hammerwatch?
Yeah, Hammerwatch.
Yeah.
We played that together. I'll link that video.
Yeah.
My video has no game audio, and Max hasn't done their video, so...
Well, mine doesn't have game audio either, so...
You lost your game audio too?
I never had the game audio. Cause...
How did you not have game... Oh, yeah, because you use a Mac, and Macs are stupid.
Shut up, my god. You're a dick.
I just lost my game audio because I had the output set on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I was recording stereo mix, and I accidentally hit... I had the output set to go through my microphone.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'll do that, and I don't know. I've been playing Rogue Legacy. I tried playing Mighty Quest for Epic Loot, and Ubisoft continues to make me angry, so I just don't care anymore. Like, I played it back in the closed beta forever ago, and it was pretty okay. And then I downloaded it just recently. I guess Saturday is when Steam says the last time I played it. I downloaded it Saturday, and at first the game didn't download all the files it needed, so it just kept auto-crashing whenever I started it.
Great.
And so I verified the game files, and it found 5 were missing, so it installed those. Good job, Ubisoft. Then I got into the game, and it ignored the fact that I was in the closed beta, so it just restarted me and took away my fucking castle and all my stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so this is
Convenient.
already bullshit. And I sat through the 15 minutes of fucking cutscenes in the beginning to then go place a single gold mine, and the game crashed again. And so I'm just done with that, and fuck Ubisoft.
Just nope.
I'm just don't. Actually, I still haven't uninstalled it because I think I was going to go back and attempt to record it. But I don't care enough, so I'm just going to hit delete local content right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been playing Luftrausers lately because, well, that's a from time to time game.
Yeah.
I played so much Rogue Legacy over the last 2 weeks that I think I put 18 hours into that game.
Yep.
Having a controller makes all the difference for that fucking game. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
What else?
Oh, God. In terms of gaming, fuck, I could
just
go on for a while. I actually no, I couldn't because I haven't really done much gaming this week. It's literally just been Guild Wars 2 and writing, which I guess will bring us to SSP updates, huh?
Yep.
So
The elephant's in the room.
we're back to doing things.
Yes.
And we'll get into why things have been dead for the last couple of months in the next part. But right now, update on Dead is that I'm finishing page 8. Max is working on page 9 still.
Very
Almost
close
done
to
with
finishing. Yeah, I've just got to clean up a few panels. Yeah.
And so that'll start up again soon. I want to have a couple pages done beforehand just so we can have a week or two buffer. So once page 10 is done being sketched, then I'll post page 8. So one more page and then we'll start it up again. The Hunted, I have enough written to record. I want to make up for it being missing for so long. So I want to write a bit more and record an extra long part. But I have 2,800 words written right now for the next part, so it's going along, and I'm bringing on 2 other people to help me write so that it can get done more regularly, and yeah, I might even have some other people do some voice acting on it. Points to 3 people. And well, as you can see, there are changes to percentages. So yeah, the show, I'm gonna try to do a longer format, I think. Like shoot for an hour and a half per show once a week.
Yes.
Do segmented thing like this, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how this seemed to work pretty well.
Seems a little more structured, yeah.
Yeah, instead of just rambling for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll work on that and see what we can do there. And as for recurring V's stuff, I think I know what I'm gonna do to set things in stone there, because I'm planning on Monday through Thursday having a game playthrough, which I'll get back to on Monday. It's just this week is kind of a bad week to record, especially with my issues with my laptop for some reason. But I'll do Monday through Thursday a game playthrough, so that'll be for now Sleeping Dogs until I'm done with the game. Friday will be a co-op type game, or not co-op, but like a game. Also, there's an alarm going off in the background. It'll be a game where I'm showing off a random game in my Steam library that I have no idea when I got it, which is most of them. So, out of my about 400 games total, I will
Probably play
I will
half.
be recording. Like, I did one for the Awesome on Friday, and the game sucked. So it was only like 10 minutes long. But yeah, so I'm going to do that on Fridays. Saturdays will be Guild Wars 2. And Sundays, I'm going to attempt to do an ASMR Let's Play every other week.
Yes.
I'm going to attempt that. I'm not saying I can, because recording an ASMR thing, while I don't even have the correct mic, it also is very difficult to do because you have to have pretty much utter silence everywhere. And, well, that's not always possible. So, and also every other week, on the opposite weeks of that, I'll be doing, because people seem to really like it, I'll be doing Guild Wars 2 PvP with my engineer. Because people really liked that video for some reason. I don't, whatever. Fucking people like what they like, so watch whatever you want to watch. Fucking, I don't care. I need to do an actual channel trailer too.
Yes.
Instead of the 4-minute monstrosity I posted.
That was fucking wonderful, okay?
Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I love that video, and I'm gonna link it in the show notes, because
Just dance.
fucking
Everyone dance.
that video is great. It's just me waiting for Shatterer to spawn, and so it's just me dancing and then other people joining in, and that fucking human is awesome.
Yeah, just like shuffling out behind you, just like, yeah.
Shuffles out from behind me a couple times, does a running man. The bouncing like
Blue
blob
thing.
with a broom is great.
Yeah.
Like,
There was like a tiger trying to assimilate with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then suddenly dragon at the end.
Yeah. That was pretty neat.
But yeah, so but it's also 4 minutes fucking long, so I need to cut that down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a new subscriber. Yay, Recurring V's has 8 subscribers
Hey.
now. Yeah, so I'm gonna just try to do that. I'll probably do like random fucking videos on and off whenever I feel like it to. Like, just I'll have that structured thing set up, but I'm also gonna try to just do random fucking things, because why the fuck not? It'll be fun. I'll just have it go boom,
Yeah.
and every once in a while I'll bust out like another game playthrough or whatever, because I really want to do like smaller games too, like really short, small games. But I'm like, oh, I'll record it after this, and then I'm like, oh wait, I want to record this next instead.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, oh, after I do Sleeping Dogs, I'll record The Bridge, and then I bought Enslaved, and I'm like, okay, so Enslaved has to be next. And then I'm like, but wait, what about this? But what about this? But what about this game? So I'm just gonna fucking have one game that I'm like for sure gonna do over the course of time, and then like other games where I just play them in one fucking sitting, and then just post all the videos up in over a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that for Revs and other SSP stuff. Yeah, I'm also gonna try to do some more things on the site. Possibly another podcast that's back to like the original percentages. It's just me rambling. Probably an actual audio diary there. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. And then also doing reviews again under the Vidjo Garmes
Vidjo Garmes.
section. Vidjo
Vidjo
Garmes.
Garmes.
Doing actual reviews again, which I have to record footage again, because I deleted all the old stuff. I have to record footage for the first one, which is Warframe, because I might wait until the Arcwing update to do it, because then I can also give my review of Arcwing. I was gonna do it for update 14, but it's been like months since then, so fuck it. Yeah, I think that's about it for my stuff. Anything you got that you want to do?
Nope. I want my hand to heal.
Well, you don't have anything for the site you want to start doing.
I want to work on Dead more, but aside from art, I'm kind of busy with school, and I've got placement coming up, so yeah.
Yeah, placement's gonna be interesting.
I have 3 weeks of placement, and that's all from 7 till 3 for 3 weeks.
And then you also... Do you still have school at the same time? Or?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not much different from your current schedule.
Except I'm just waking up at, like, Sparrow's Fun fucking morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, you left at, 8 before?
Yeah.
So you're waking up an hour earlier?
Yeah.
Who cares?
No.
That's not that big a deal. Yeah, you mentioned something about your hands, so I guess let's talk about what we've been up to.
Yeah. I was chopping kindling today, and I got a bit too close to my hand, and by a bit too close to my hand, I mean I chopped just the side of my knuckle of my left hand. And I did a bloody good job, because it's in a really awkward spot and it won't stop bleeding. Like, it's only about as big as my thumbnail, so it's not that big, and it's not that deep. It's just that it's in such an awkward place, and it's, like, right at the joint, so that it's basically constantly being twitched and moved, so it doesn't quite stay still. So, yeah, my auntie was very lovely, and she came around when I very sheepishly called her and said, I may have chopped my hand open. And, yeah, she's come and helped me put a bandage on it, and then she took me out for tea, which was nice.
Nerd.
It was good. And then I think I scared you with it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, when you message somebody saying, I chopped my hand with an axe, my aunt is coming to get me, of course I'm going to think that you, like, chopped fingers off and you're going to the hospital.
Sorry. I'm not good at context.
And then when you don't reply for, like, 3 hours, then I'm just like, well, you're in the hospital, okay, I'm just gonna chill until you get back.
I'm sorry.
And then it was, it's just a chunk, it's a small chunk. I went out to have dinner. It's like, oh, well, okay, I see how it is.
I'm sorry.
Had everybody scared.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't let you know because there was things happening. I'm sorry.
Well, you didn't have to word it in, my aunt is coming.
I thought by saying my aunt is coming, I thought that my aunt is coming wouldn't mean hospital. I thought that would mean checking.
Typically when you say you chopped your hand with an axe, and that your aunt is coming over, like, that typically means that you can't drive and your aunt is coming to pick you up. Because you chopped your hand with an axe.
I'm sorry. It didn't really hurt as much as I expected. Not that I was anticipating it, I just sort of thought, oh. Like, I felt sort of like the impact, and I thought, that hurt. I'm bleeding.
Okay, so tell me, people, if this sounds like they were going to the hospital because they severely injured themselves. I was chopping wood and I've cut myself. Kind of bad. Just waiting for my aunt to come. Typically, you would think if somebody is chopping wood...
Wasn't there, that wouldn't have been that bad. That was my first thing that I sent you when I hadn't checked how
when you say that, I think that you chopped, like, through half of your hand or something with your axe.
If I chop through...
And you didn't tell me you were chopping kindling.
If I chop through half my hand, I don't think I would have that much time to tell you, hey, I've chopped through my hand.
You never know. I mean, adrenaline will make the pain
Yes,
fairly
but blood.
non-existent for a while, and
Lots of blood.
I
I think I'd call an ambulance.
you can type
first.
with one hand. I was telling you I dislocated my knee while I was standing,
Yeah,
okay? I don't even...
I'm sorry.
Like, that...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So...
I'm sorry, I never put things in context and I constantly worry you.
Yeah,
I've
you
done that
really
a
are
lot,
bad
I'm
about the
sorry.
context thing. Like, you're very bad about the context
Yeah.
thing.
I'm sorry.
It's just like, oh, well, sure. Yeah, that makes... Okay. What? Yeah, so... I don't know. Yeah, that's what you've been up to.
That's fine.
Well, that and you had a death in the family, so...
Yeah, my grandmother died, Monday. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
she
that's
didn't die
another
Monday.
reason
She
why
had a
we've...
funeral Monday. Yeah,
She died
last
week.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons that we've been kind of
out of the loop. Yeah.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Has been death in the family, hand getting chopped today.
School.
So yeah. And then I've been moving,
Yay.
getting out of the hellhole I've
Are
been
you
living
all
in.
out now, or are you?
No, God no. I still have to go grab a lot of my stuff. I also need to go grab. I need to go get the money to finish paying off this laptop before I can officially move out of there. Which I got paid, so I have to go check and see if I have enough now. I also, yeah, in terms of my stuff, it's just been moving and then work, and I got really sick Monday. Like really sick.
Don't do that.
Trying to think of what else. Yeah, not a ton of stuff has been really going on because I've just been doing other shit lately. Like I said, I haven't even recorded video game stuff this week. It's just been work and writing and sleeping a lot. Like, I think finally after the last few months of not sleeping, I'm finally catching up on all of that. So I sleep like a lot.
Hella sleep.
Well, not really. I mean, because we have ceiling gate going on right now here.
What now?
The apartment right above ours is vacant, and they're vaulting the ceiling in there.
Alrighty.
So it's just construction noises directly above where we sleep. And so, and it usually starts right when I'm getting tired after
Great
work.
fun.
Yeah, at about 10:30 it starts, and I usually go to bed at 9. So I'll be asleep for about an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half, and then suddenly construction. So I just lost track of what I was saying. There was a cut there because I had to go check on something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been a hectic week, and sleeping at the times I should be working and doing stuff, and then work, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm tired right now, so I'm probably gonna go to bed.
It is bad.
Yeah, so this has been Percentages 22. I have no idea what the name of this... the name of the episode should be Hello Darkness, my old friend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to I'll have to record a trigger warning for the beginning of it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But, anyway, this is all post-show stuff that we can talk about. Yeah, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just not even gonna talk about that because I don't really feel we deserve to. Um. Anyway, if you like this, there are plenty of other things on the site that will be updating again soon. Dead, The Hunted, Max's sketch stuff on Tuesdays every once in a while when they actually post it. And my stuff at Recurring V's on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Recurring V's and Max is at Squeaking
Yay.
Hiccups. Or no,
Yeah,
Squeaking
speaking
Hiccup.
hiccup.
No plural because the S
Yep.
wouldn't.
That was pretty much it.
And yeah, that's about it for today. So, well, good night, everyone.
Take care.
See you in the next one.